Hi, everybody. Welcome to Goblin Talk, the show that I just can't think of a better name for. I'm here with my friends, Alden Everhart.
Hello.
And the erroneous Joe Cabo.
Hello.
I like that. I'm going to call you that from now on, Joe.
The solipsistic Joe Cabo.
Oh, man.
Wow. Throwing out those fancy insults, aren't you?
And the perennial Alden Everhart. I'm James Baxter.
The perennial.
He is perennial.
I think he bites his thumb at you,
Listen,
Joe.
if you need somebody on your side, I would recommend Alden Everhart every time.
Hey.
Whoa. He's an agent of chaos.
But he shows up. That's the most important thing.
Chaos, though.
That's right.
Like, you think he's on your side.
Okay, I mean,
flip it on the next topic. Just watch out. He's a wily one.
I mean, I'm an agent of chaos.
Yeah, that's
Joe Cabo.
See, I think you're more neutral. Alden is like you're like true neutral to me. Alden is chaotic neutral.
I like to think of myself as chaotic good, but you know, I don't know. I mean, that's not how I come across.
What's honest is like I'm chaotic good and you're neutral good, and Joe over here, Mr. Lawful Evil, can't tell because he's so far skewed.
I admit that I'm lawful evil.
You're absolutely I would peg you as lawful evil.
Yep.
Every day of the week.
Every day.
Lawful efficient is the actual
no.
Lawful efficient.
No.
Good Lord. Well,
you're welcome.
we thought we'd jump on stream tonight and talk about Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. There it is.
Ooh, it's so pretty.
Which came out about a week and a half ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know. I'm losing track of time.
You know, I bought it last week, and then I was so upset when D&D Beyond came out with a 15% off of all books.
Yeah, they did on site. Well, you gotta think about Cyber Monday or whatever. You know what I mean?
I didn't think that they were going to do that on their brand new book, but it applied to everything. I was like, dang, I should have waited.
You don't buy things like the week before Cyber Monday online, you know, or Black Friday or whatever.
You know,
wasn't it retroactive? No. So you had to spend like an extra $1?
Yeah.
Oh,
it had Joe's money.
Extra $1 hurts though sometimes.
It does. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's too bad. Well, I will send you $1, Joe Cabo, if it makes you feel better.
Look, it's fine. It's fine.
Eat well.
But it came out a couple of weeks ago.
All right.
It was a highly anticipated book from Wizards of the Coast. And it's got a lot of neat stuff in it. I thought we would come on and talk about it and let Joe Cabo shoot holes in it.
Oh, you shouldn't watch out for me. It's Alden. Remember,
what?
He's the chaotic neutral one.
All I'm trying to do is have a little fun, guys.
Alden's the rogue. You're the fighter, right? So if I'm Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, and I'm up against Joe Cabo, Alden sneaks in from behind and goes, "Oh, what about sidekicks?" You know.
Yeah. Sidekicks.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a DM, I don't know. I don't like it.
For the most part, I really like this book a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool. I think it's up there with Xanathar's or some of the other everything books, right? It brings in a lot of subclasses, a lot of there was a lot of EA stuff that we've been using for a while that was codified in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. But they brought a few new things in as well. And we've been talking about doing a Goblin talk about race in D&D. I have
James is terrified of it. He won't do it.
I don't want to get hashtag canceled.
Tell the people how you think, James.
I think whatever you think is pretty much right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as long as you at your table are comfortable. I get what you're saying.
I am the only from the three of us. I'm the only white guy here. So
I'm like half white.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
I'm part
Like he could talk his way out of a car, a speeding ticket, you know.
So my opinion isn't as important as yours, as rightly so, right? Because I mean, white guys been running this shit forever. But my opinion is that there is a slight race problem in D&D, and it should be fixed. So I don't know if Joe Cabo feels that way, but Tasha's does go a ways towards fixing that. D&D came out with a statement a few days ago that they are addressing race in D&D, and it's going to take them several years to fix it.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I don't know. What do you think, Joe Cabo? Is there a race problem in D&D? Let me put you on the spot.
I mean, so I think there is a problem with how they have characterized and the choice of words that they used, and then going deeper into how they have built or described certain societies and what they were using as templates for it.
Thank God we're on the same page. Okay.
All feed into the problems that they have. But I think, and it's more pervasive than just D&D. I mean, I know for second edition, Pathfinder made a conscious change of their wording.
They call it ancestry instead of race.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's as far as they went, really, as far as I can tell.
Ish. Well, I mean, like they're also working, you know, to change alignments and what the preconceived notions are for certain ancestries. So
because I mean, and now not to bash them, because I mean, you know, they are coming up with this and they are basing it off of everything previous. But as far as I knew, like every orc's still evil, you know, like, you know, they're still just like, and they're like, hey, run a homebrew game if you want to change it, people. We've built our premise off of stealing from the other guy, and he hasn't changed it either. So we're moving forward here.
I mean, for the most part, I agree with people where race and D&D. First of all, I don't know if it should be called race or not. I like the word ancestry. That's okay. I like folk. That's a good word. But if you're just because you're an orc doesn't necessarily mean that you should take a -1 to intelligence or whatever it was. I don't remember exactly. Just because you're
still hurts my feelings.
Just because you're tiefling doesn't mean you necessarily get a +2 to charisma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and people say, you know, well, if you don't like it, you can homebrew it, but it's codified in the rules. You know what I mean? So, it needs to be changed around a bit, I think. And I think they've taken the first step with Tasha's, whereas when you create a character now, if the race you selected gets, let's say, normally would get a +2 to intelligence, let's say, right? And a +1 to, I don't know, dexterity, whatever. You can take that +2 and +1 and you can add it to different abilities as you see fit, right?
Okay.
Because not everybody in that race is going to be the same, which is the idea behind changing these rules up, right? Not everybody's the same.
So now you're just getting like bonus modifiers and then play with them as you see fit. Because like
yes,
those bonus modifiers, not that they have to be static, but that's part of the fun of creating a character, is being like, ooh, got it to 20 by level 3.
Well,
and
you
like
are a
the
dirty
DM's like,
min-maxer.
no!
You are a dirty min-maxer. And that has
That's
some of the
all I
criticism
want.
I've seen.
That's all I want.
Some of the criticism of this I've seen is that it's going to enable dirty min-maxers.
Look, all I want is it to be fair and to allow my dirty min-maxing. Is that wrong?
Are they the same thing? Be fair and
Oh, well, I mean, I'm talking about fair
min-maxing?
to race and people that feel like it's wrong.
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
that
yes.
kind of fair. But then,
Yes.
no, I also want to be
We're on
completely
the same page.
compared to your monsters. Yes.
So you can
PCs
now you can take that. You can't put a +3 in anything, which was
one of the things that could have been a problem. Yeah.
Yes. Before Tasha's came out, people were one of the things that was a possibility of happening was that you could basically get 3 ability points that you could add to anything, including putting all 3 ability points into one skill, right? And that is not the case with Tasha's, at least.
Okay.
If you're an orc and normally would have gotten a +2 to strength, and you know what I mean, you can put that +2 anywhere you want.
Okay.
And I think it's a good addition.
Yeah. That sounds.
For one, because it enables those dirty min-maxers, and for two, it acknowledges that just because you're an orc doesn't mean you're a dummy. You know what I mean? You really want to play an orc wizard? Rules as written, you can do that now. You can put that +2 into intelligence.
Okay.
And that was the problem. Whereas, you know, a lot of us would homebrew stuff where, okay, well, you're an orc and you want to be a wizard. That's fine. But we had to homebrew it to make that a possibility, whereas now it's actually in the rule.
Yeah.
So now if you want to be a horrible racist asshole, you have to homebrew it, basically. Yeah, and that's kind of what we're going for at the moment.
Yay.
What do you think, Joe Cabo? I see you thinking over there.
I mean, I looked at it a lot differently in how I created my characters. Like, I never let the modifiers of a race or an ancestry or whatever affect my choice. In fact, if I had if in the older editions, if I had a character that I wanted to play like a orc wizard, like I loved tanking other stats and role playing what that tanking of that stat or stats are going to be like. Like it to me, and this is just Joe Cabo. That's I always took it up as a challenge to figure out like how would I put myself in that character's shoes with those advantages and disadvantages that were built into the system.
We min-maxers create wonderful roleplay, James.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
right.
and if it meant tanking my charisma, so be it.
Amazing.
That means going against some shadows coming to touch me would like I'd be out in no time.
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
You gotta have some kind of weakness, or it's no fun, right?
Yeah.
I've been through part of Out of the Abyss before. By the way, on Mondays, Alden is running Out of the Abyss. For some of us, it's off stream until he decides otherwise.
Oh God. Do you guys want to see that? It's so bad.
I don't think it's bad.
I am pulling it out of my ass. Like I'm
having a good time.
Really think that. Really.
But
bad.
I've played through part of the Out of the Abyss with a different group a couple of years ago, and
you warned me about this. I'm okay with it.
one of the players decided they want to be a dwarf wizard, which isn't completely out of their own possibility.
No, you can do it.
But he his dwarf wizard had a headband of intellect, right? And his character concept was that he got kicked out of wizarding school because he kept blowing shit up.
Yes.
That was his concept. So we're going through Out of the Abyss, we're running up against demon lords and shit, right? And we came up across Yeenagu. By the way, Stephen Mellard, who was on our show a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, he was our DM for this.
Yeah.
Yeenagu shows up, who is the Knoll demon lord or whatever.
Yep.
The wizard turns around and he goes, "I think we can take him." Everybody went, "Oh shit, we're like level 8, right?"
Yeah.
So the wizard ends up tanking for several rounds, and I don't know if Steven just wasn't rolling well or what, but he just couldn't seem to hit him. And he's got Bigby's hand up. He's doing all kinds of shit. So this dwarf wizard like tanked for a good solid 5 or 6 rounds. Which goes to show you that not all these character concepts are cookie cutter.
Invalid.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still.
Sometimes it comes up to the dice rolls.
Yeah.
So when we're making our characters, You know, we have a race. It's nice to not have it codified into the rules that just because you're an orc, you have to take a negative to intelligence. Is one thing.
Because then you can get different classes with different races, and it can be a lot of fun. Yeah, and it's not like within each society you don't have a need for every type of adventuring class. You know, so
Exactly, and
yeah.
I think that's a good compromise between just taking 3 points and putting them wherever you want, which one of the things people worried about were people like Alden Eberhardt who are gonna take advantage of these rules.
So then I would pay with point buy, because you make me do point buy in order to try and nerf me. Then I wouldn't have to pay for that 18. Oh no, it would only be a 15. Bam! And then everything else is just so much. Oh no, it would have been so broken.
Yeah.
I miss being able to tank scores though. Like that's one thing that I like playing a 7 charisma character. Wonderful.
Yeah, I don't think.
Or-
I think 5e.
It is wonderful.
5e's rule set doesn't allow you to go below an 8, which still gives you that -1, Joe. You can just make that give yourself another little negative just to make it spicy.
Go hard mode.
A hard mode.
That's right. Or
Yeah.
tanking two of them. Be like Raceland. Tank your
Con. Take your con. True glass cannon.
Yeah, that's a good point, Wizards of the Coast. What if I want to have a 6 in intelligence? You know? Rules is written. I don't know if I can actually do it.
Well, it depends. Ooh, well, now this is the thing. I think that Buddy, if
Or charisma.
you're a fan of Critical Role, the ogre who we played, and remember, because he was like, "Okay, I'm Buddy. Hi." I think Buddy might have had from the racial negatives that he was using at the time, because he did not have Tasha's available. I think he might have had like a 6, and then but he was an adorable character. Everyone loved him. He was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could get that low in 5e anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, if your character is great at everything, it's gonna be hard to roleplay.
Yeah.
You need those negatives in there too, which is why I think that it was an okay compromise with Tasha's, where they said, okay, well, if you got a +2 to something, you can put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, you got a +1 to something, you can put that somewhere else too.
Cool.
I thought that was a really good compromise, personally.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I understand being great at everything kind of waters things down. I mean, like that's me in real life. Like I'm great at everything. So
You see why I tear him down, James? You see now?
You'll get no argument from me, Joe.
Oh no! Don't you prop him up? Oh.
Oh
Well,
man.
I'm glad we finally had this talk, and you disguised it as a Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. But I guess that it's because they addressed it. Thank you. You want to talk about any of the classes?
Yeah, I want to talk about some of the classes.
Yeah, let's do it.
A lot of these have been UA for a while, and they just got codified into the rules with Tasha's.
Yeah.
But like you got the Wild Magic Barbarian, which is now official.
In our entropy.
The Aberrant Sorcerer.
I've never seen one of those.
Which might be a little OP, honestly, in my opinion.
Ooh, well, then let me look at it.
Don't mind if I
do.
The Rune Knight is now,
which
official.
I'm playing with your NPC and Out of the Abyss, and I hate it.
Hey, that
just
was your
because
dumb idea.
I thought you guys were gonna have a tougher time. Now I just need a killer.
One interesting thing I saw in the book was the Blade Singer Wizard.
Yes.
I put a napkin in my. Here it is.
I already have it pulled up. Yeah.
Let me read what it says about the Blade Singer. Blade Singers master a tradition of wizardry that incorporates swordplay and dance. Originally created by elves, this tradition has been adopted by non-elf practitioners who honor and expand on the elven ways. So, according to Tasha's, you can be a blade singer with other races now.
Finally.
and still be rules as written. So, one of the most crazy OP characters I've made, like in my downtime where I'm just bored and I'm making a character, right, was a Hobgoblin Blade Singer. And it was stupid OP.
All right, I like it.
I know. I was looking at this thing like I wouldn't let me play this, right?
I know how that is.
Oh yeah.
It was stupid OP. A Hobgoblin Blade Singer. So I mean, I'm telling you, next time you get bored, you're on D&D Beyond, and you're making a character, try a Hobgoblin Blade Singer because it's crazy. It's crazy good. And if you manage to kill my character now, the Abyss Alt, and that's what I'm bringing in after that. So
Okay, I'm
Keep that in
great
mind.
with that. Well, I don't know. You don't want to step on the other arcane caster's toes, but whatever, man.
I won't.
Do whatever. Oh yeah, that's true. You'll be fighting in
Blade
melee.
Singers are melee.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay.
Yeah. Another section of the book, beyond classes and race and all that kind of stuff, is chapter 3 is magical miscellany, where they have spells. I've seen a lot of people not complain exactly, but they said that they would have liked to see more spells in the book because this is Tasha's Cauldron of everything. Who's
right. Is there not a lot? I haven't clicked on
super
this.
wizard lady, whatever, and they would like to see more spells. But the spells that are in here are pretty good. One of them was UA until recently. It was called acid. What was it called? I use it in Frigophobia.
Right, and then you did.
With
You
my
thought it was gone.
sorcerer, where you basically vomit acid all over everybody. That's awesome. But that one is now in Tasha's Tasha's acid vomit or something. I don't remember. What it's
Tasha's
called.
caustic brew.
There you go.
Yeah.
They should have called it Tasha's acid vomit because that's basically what it is.
Emanates from you. I think this. Here's the thing. This is a stream of acid emanates from you. You like it because you're a goblin and you're vomiting the acid.
Well, a black dragon, draconic sorcerer, goblin. Yes.
Some people might not want to role play it like that, and so they're giving them the option, James.
Why wouldn't you want to roleplay it like that?
So gross.
What movie is that making me think of?
Dead Alive?
Aliens too.
Peter Jackson, Dead Alive? Or Aliens, yeah. Any of the Aliens movies, really.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is, but you vomit acid all over the place, and it's super gross.
Yeah. But if somebody wants to shoot it from their hand, that's okay. That's valid. I'm here to DM for you.
Now, a lot of people are disappointed in the number of spells in here, but the spells themselves are pretty cool. There's a lot of summoning spells in here, which there was a dearth of in D&D 5e before. So you've got summon aberration, summon beast, celestial, construct, elemental, fey, fiend, shadow spawn, or undead. And summon undead is a pretty low level spell, so you're able to.
And just as a power gamer, it's such a huge thing to summon in another hit point suck.
It is.
That's a huge thing. Now, of course, a smart DM will just ignore your stupid summon creature, but it can be very important in certain situations. Yeah.
Is it a smart DM or is it
or a dick?
Smart
Yeah,
DM,
like Joe. Yeah, I got you.
Wait. A smart DM is going to think of things from the monster standpoint. Okay?
Yeah.
Is the monster going to go after this creature that you summoned, or is it going to go after
Here's the problem. If Joe's monster has an intelligence above 10, yes, it's going to go after that damn summoner. And I'm like, Joe, average intelligent people might still attack the monster, Joe.
Hey, look, if you give a convincing argument, I might roll like a D4 or whatever to figure it out, give you a chance.
I love it. Good stuff.
I might. You have to convince me of that. Now, here's something interesting that I like. There's a whole section about parlaying with monsters.
Yeah.
Very important.
And I like the fact that that the monster research to kind of like understand the monster that you're trying to parlay with requires different skills that, it's not just like following the same trope of like, oh, the bard with the high persuasion
Seduces the dragon or whatever. Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
right. It's not like that. Like it
Mhm.
looks like every class has the ability to research and parlay with certain monsters.
Certain
And
types.
that brings
Okay,
up a really good point, Joe
okay,
Cabo.
here we go. Here we go.
I like the race stuff.
Mhm.
I like the spells they brought in. I like the magic items too. But the coolest part of this book to me is the Dungeons Master's tool,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
which is
okay.
in chapter 4.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
with you
yeah.
on that.
Except for those damn sidekicks.
They brought him some really cool stuff. Sidekicks are okay.
They're fine. They're fine.
There have been some. I've seen a lot of people like super excited about sidekicks, right? Which I don't know if I'd be super excited about that as a dungeon master.
Once again, it is a hit point total that doesn't hurt the PCs. As long as you
a
can
player,
really
pretty
role
cool.
play about the fact that, oh, he's gone. Well, let's get a new one. Come on, let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I like the sidekick I had in Pathfinder Society, where
Mhm.
the only use, and it had no hit point total, was to announce my presence every time I met someone new.
Okay, well, imagine something like that, except they have hit points, they have an action
Yeah,
in combat, right?
they can
It's
help.
the same idea.
Unacceptable, right,
That's
Joe?
really what I
I'm
would
with you,
use-
Joe. I'm
use
with
it
you.
for, to announce my presence and all my titles that go along with my character.
That's
You
pretty
could have a
idea,
sidekick
actually.
that knows the terrain that you're in, right? So, like in Alden's game, for example, he's playing Out of the Abyss, which is in the Underdark. We could pick up a sidekick that knows the Underdark and allows us to roll high on nature or survival, right?
Checks, yeah.
Ooh,
Um,
Pretty good.
we could pick up a spellcaster or a warrior to help us in combat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's up to Alden as to how far we roleplay that. Like,
Okay.
does it have a name? Is it a gnome? Is it
absolutely.
a person? What is
No.
it? You know what I mean?
It's got to hurt when he's gone. Yes.
Exactly.
yeah.
So,
And you gotta,
the sidekick thing's okay. I haven't really explored it too much at this point, but I would allow it, of course, as DM.
Or he or she's gone. Yeah, but they'd be like, just 2 weeks till retirement. I'm gonna take my wife. We're gonna live out on a farm I bought in the countryside with my pension.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
this would be great for creating scenarios where the party has to escort a sidekick.
Now you've taken the worst part of video games and brought it to D&D.
And if they don't get the sidekick to where they need to go alive, then you can bestow some negatives upon the party because they've lost morale.
Now, to say like, wow, this is a great mechanic, and I love all these tools, and I don't want to distract from the tools. Curse of Strahd already is an escort mission, Joe, and then look, it's the best escort mission because everybody loves it, but it's so miserable because she's just like you're like, someone protect Arena again.
Well,
why?
that's a really good point, Alden, because Arena could be a sidekick now
Yeah.
with her own stat block.
Her stat
and-
block could be a lot improved, which means she
Yeah.
could make more of those stupid saves.
Yeah.
No.
No, she's still gonna fail him. Yeah.
Or Ismark or any
Yeah.
other
Well,
people who pick
Ismark
up
is a
along the way.
veteran, so at that point he's a level 3. But you're right, you could give him sidekick levels if you wanted to progress his level.
Yeah, and that's the thing about sidekicks is they
Yeah.
level when you do,
Yeah. So there you go.
basically.
Yeah. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, they actually gain levels, they
Mhm.
gain stats, they gain things over time.
And it would be easier to keep them abreast
Yeah.
of the party rather
As
than
a-
having to figure it out as a
As a DM, I wouldn't want to have to keep up with it, but if one of the players wants to,
Yeah,
I would
perfect.
allow it, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
After that, they have parlaying with monsters,
Which
Dungeon Master's tools,
pretty
which is
cool.
it is a pretty cool chapter. I like it
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They talk about supernatural regions, which is pretty neat. It's exactly what you're thinking of, so I don't know if we really need to go into it here.
Oh, this kind of ties into our last chat with they're finally putting some
Extra-
rules around
extra
going
planar
to
stuff?
extra planers, like some of the and that was one
Yeah.
of that we noted was missing. Well, it's great that they brought that into it. That's awesome.
Maybe they noticed it was missing too. Maybe they watched us and they realized it was
Yeah.
missing.
There you go.
we have the power, the silent power of Neon Goblin.
Maybe that's what happened.
I do like that they have a haunted environment, which means you can use that anywhere. This is
Anywhere or in a Halloween one shot.
terrifying. Oh no. Oh no.
So I like to bring in the haunted stuff in like, April when nobody's thinking about Halloween, really blindside them with it.
I wasn't ready.
Mhm.
Ooh, infested.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is so cool.
Yeah. It's kind
This
of
is
messed
pretty
up,
cool.
yeah.
Huh.
They have a section on magical phenomena, such as eldritch storms, which sounds awesome. Mimic colonies. I read a little bit about that one, the mimic colonies, where if a bunch of mimics get together, right, they may form a society. Very rare, but it could happen. And so you might find yourself walking into a town where every fucking thing is a mimic.
So basically, the
okay.
castle from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, exactly. But they all have teeth and they're trying to bite your head off.
Oh, well,
Yes.
that's not quite the same then. No.
I mean,
I
as a DM, you can do whatever you want. It could be Beauty and the Beast if you want.
I ran Death House, and my friends were like, "Is there going to be a mimic?" And I was like, "There's no mimic," because I didn't read the full thing because I'm like a shitty DM, like I said. And later on, when the mimic attacked them, I was like, I felt so bad.
No, you played it perfectly. You're giving misdirection.
I was like, I'm sorry I lied to you about the mimic that's attacking you right now.
Did you go, ha ha? Or did you go, oh, okay, there wasn't a mimic. I'm sorry.
Well, I looked and I turned the page and I was like, oh no. And he was like, what happens when I open the door? And I was like, roll for initiative. And he was like, why would I have to do that? And I was like, I am so sorry.
Never apologize.
I lied
Right,
to
Joe
you.
Cabo?
That's right. That's right.
Never apologize as a
Oh
DM.
no.
You must be the bulwark against the PC.
If I did
so
something
bad.
fucked up, it was on purpose.
That was not okay.
Scrolling through the supernatural region section, it gives me pause because I see that they have D100 tables.
I don't want to get into that, Joe Cabo.
What's going on?
I don't want to get into that.
Oh, we're gonna leave that alone.
Uh,
Yeah,
well,
we're gonna leave that alone.
No,
right.
we can get into the tables themselves. I just want to get into what a D100 is
Oh,
and what.
well,
comes up
though
on the
D&D
dice.
5e has it codified in their rules, completely opposite of what Joe Cabot says, because they're right.
Well, Joe
That is
Cabo's
all
an
I'll say about
asshole.
that.
They're taking away GM autonomy.
GM autonomy is one way or it's the other. You
Yeah,
can
Joe,
have both.
you can
That's
change
right.
it. You can
I
change
want to
it.
be able to choose.
You can
I don't
change
need-
it to your
I don't need the
stupid
book to
wrong
tell
way
me-
as you want
I don't
to.
need the book to tell me what it's gonna be.
Okay,
As
so
long as
what do
you're the
you?
GM.
All right, so you have two D10s, right?
oh my God, we're talking about
I
it.
mean,
No,
we're
a
not.
I am
little
so
bit.
sorry to our listening audience.
What do you roll on
Cut
the
the mic, cut
D10s
the
to
mic,
get a
cut the mic.
100?
Huh?
To get a 100, what do you roll on the
He
two
has to
D10s?
roll a 90 and a 10 to get a 100. The only way he can get a 100. Hey, look,
Correct.
both ways are valid. If you go and you check,
Are they?
both ways,
Yeah,
yes,
they
they are. Both ways
Okay.
are completely valid. Joe's way is just dumb and harder to think about.
No, see, well, my
Less forgiving, let's say.
my way is a true 1 through 100, while Alden's way is a 0 through 99, where the 0 represents 100.
Are you saying Alden is wrong?
I'm saying that.
Are you looking him in the eye and saying he's wrong?
GM autonomy.
Yeah. But
All right.
that's the way that 5e rules it. So I was like, oh, somebody at Wizard of the Coast knew. And I was just dancing around the room.
And I was
Joe's
like, this is the
why I play
first
Pathfinder.
edition of any book that has come out with this.
Yeah, it's pretty strange, but I get why, just to stop any arguments, man. Just give them a rule. Give them a
Yeah,
rule.
give them a
Or
give 'em a
let-
rule. If they want to override it, fine. But
Yeah,
give them a
yeah,
rule so that they
override
got
it if you
something to.
wish.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
Yeah.
Because you might have a player like Joe
I
Cabot.
think
It's
they
the
should have
worst.
talked about both of them and said both are valid. It's up to the GM to figure out instead of
That'll come in the next supplement, Joe. Don't worry. It's coming in that next 5e supplement, Joe. We'll call it Morden Cannon's Magnificent. I don't know.
Or Joe's an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really what
that's a
it
good
boils
idea. Call it
Yeah,
that.
there we go.
Are you listening, Wizards of the Coast?
No, they're not. They're
Are
not even
you?
watching.
down. Like,
Are you paying attention? Because Joe is an asshole.
I mean,
uh,
valid question.
and I guarantee you, there's somebody at Wizards who's like, Joe's right. Joe's fucking right. And I can't believe
Yeah, probably.
I can't believe they put it in the book the wrong way.
Oh, I just want to say that Alden and I had probably like an hour and a half to 2 hour discussion, like where this
Oh,
It was
God.
not a discussion. It was an argument.
it was a discussion where we slapped each other with gloves. Almost got to fisticuffs.
Okay, well, next week on Neon Goblin, there will be a duel with machetes
Oh no!
at dawn.
Rolling D100s to
Rolling
figure out who
D100s.
hits each
All
other.
right, you do it your wrong way, and I'll do it my right way. We'll see who wins, Joe.
If Joe manages to behead Alden Amberheart, then it's his way. It's the other way around.
We should just
Highlander!
It's Alden's way.
do a Call of Cthulhu battle.
There can be only one.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, how long has D&D been around? D&D, right?
D&D?
1976?
Yes.
I thought it was earlier than that.
Yeah, I thought it was earlier 1970s, but I don't know.
72?
It was in the 70s.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's been around that long, and we still haven't come up with a consensus on how D100 works.
I don't know that the D100 was a thing until the third edition.
Oh.
Yeah,
It was-
I think that the third edition was the first one that came up with 20% mischances and stuff. And then you're like, 20% mischance? How do I do that? And they're like, oh, well, here you go. Here's a couple D10s and figure it out. And you were like, and people were like, and then, people with normal brains were like, okay, let's just have these represent digits. And then there are other people who are like, no, we must count up. And so that
Right,
way
because-
100 is only a 90 out of 10.
Because
Yeah,
you're
Joe Cabo.
consistent by rolling that single D10. If they would have put a 1 in front of that 0, there'd be no question. But big die is causing us to fight each other.
Joe
Big-
Cabo.
That's
like big oil, but it's
that's
big
like-
die.
yeah.
Hey,
Thank
Joe
you, Charlie.
Cabo.
Yeah, what's up?
What year were you born?
85.
Lord.
What what's
So you weren't even alive in the 70s.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
me
it-
neither.
D&D was
So what do you know about D100s?
1974.
What does Gary Gygax say about
74,
D100?
that's right.
Also, we're already mad at Gary Gygax because of what he said about women playing. So screw him.
Well, I mean, he was kind of a
Yeah,
he was kind of a grognard.
yeah, he was super
Um,
grognard. I didn't know what a grognard was
That's
until they called him.
that's an asshole D&D nerd who's resistant to change. That's what a
Yeah,
grognard is.
so there you go.
And there are plenty of those out there still
Joe.
who are resistant to Tasha's Cauldron of Everything just because you can put the ability scores wherever you want.
Oh, I think that's fine.
Did you know? Did you know that D&D was based off of a variation of a 1971 game as Chainmail, serving as the initial rule system? I don't know that.
I think I read that once.
Well, there you go. You learn something new every day.
Every day.
The more you know.
So, yeah, Gary Gygax was kind of a sexist, and I mean, it's easy for me to excuse that as a straight white male, but I mean, he's dead, so who cares?
Yeah.
I think we should focus more on what D&D is now. And we can change whatever we want, such as ability scores tied to race. We can move those things around, right?
Yep.
So here's the thing: have humans been punished by only +2?
I don't know. I mean,
Or am I only a variant human now? Is that what you're telling me?
you every character you make is a variant human, so
Yes.
I don't see that changing in the near future.
Oh yeah, I guess normal humans got a +1 to everything, which can actually be pretty sweet if you think about it.
I mean, it's pretty sweet being a human.
I could break that.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
And this is why GMs need to stand against the tyranny of the PC.
The tyranny of the PC. Okay, well, we got off topic a little bit with Joe and his fucking D100s.
You're welcome.
What do you want to talk about? Natural hazards?
Yes, I do, because this has come up in our home game.
Oh no, this is awful.
Because we play on Friday nights, we play in a home game that's not streamed. We've been doing it for about a year and a half. It's Ghost of Saltmarsh, or it started out as Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Now it's just silly.
It's evolved into something completely different.
Well,
it is our silly game.
I've got a meme for that I just want to. It's DM introduces deck of many things to game. Players completely break his campaign. DM. Oh!
Yo, that was a year ago. More than a year ago. Yeah, this can our Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign has been going on for like a year and a half. They're like level 18 or some shit.
How did you not see that
But one thing that has come up in the game
is what? Which one of these?
Falling into water.
Really? Oh, right. How much damage do you take?
Well, Tasha's Cauldron of Everything says, a creature that falls into water or another liquid can use its reaction to make a DC 15 strength or dexterity check to hit the surface head or feet first. On a successful check, any damage resulting from the fall is halved.
Cool.
Which is pretty much what we did, if I recall
I think
correctly.
So. Yeah, you made him make a check. I don't know what DC you gave.
Yeah.
But by the time
it was higher than 15 at the time.
Yeah, but
hey.
it is, we were higher level, so making DC 20 either was fine.
Yeah, and that has come up in our Ghost of Saltmarsh games. Like, well, I'm falling in the water. I'm not just falling on the ground. So what's the difference?
Can I dive? Yeah.
And I had to make rules on the fly for that, which were pretty similar to what they came up with in the book.
Yeah. In fact, they've made it easier. Like now, we're gonna really be good at it.
Yeah, you make a DC 15 check. If you pass it, you take half falling damage.
Now, what happens if the water's not deep?
Well,
I like that.
That would still be up to the DM, I suppose.
See, little DM autonomy for you, Joe.
Mm.
You're pretty much just gonna hurt yourself really badly.
Yeah, you can jump in and
how deep is deep enough to slow them? You think, Joe?
I'm pretty sure that there is a table that you could look up online about how deep you fall into water based on how high you drop.
Okay, there you go.
Well, you look that up, Joe Cabo.
Oh, trust me, I will.
Go ahead and do that. I'm not gonna do that, but you go ahead. They also have avalanches in here,
which was
I don't know if you guys have been watching Frigophobia.
Our
Icewind Dale campaign, which generally happens on Wednesday. This last week it was on Monday, but generally happens on Wednesday. And there was an avalanche once.
It was awful.
There probably will be again.
Well, it was only awful for me. Joe, I was the only person that ended up buried. Actually, that's not true, but I think I was the only person that fell down several feet.
You're the only one that failed the dex check, I guess.
Yeah, I was like, ah!
And I think what they did here in Tasha's is they took the rules from Icewind Dale for Avalanche, and they just kind of stuck it in Tasha's for other games.
Perfect.
So
it was good rule.
Huh.
They also have falling onto a creature, which has also come up in our home games. It's like, okay, if I fall off a wall that's 12 feet high and I land on Alden, right? That's not the same as landing on the floor, right? And the DM has to come with stuff off the top of his head, but which they have rules for that in Tasha's now.
I just learned something new. I looked up the water. Sorry, I'm going back to that. Apparently, Apparently, there is a depth, and this is I haven't confirmed this, but there it makes sense that there's a depth that cannot be reached no matter how fast you are falling through the air, which is about 16 feet. So it doesn't matter if you're jumping from 1,000 feet or 30,000 feet, because you'll reach terminal velocity, and then the nature of water changes from being a liquid and kind of the
More of a
faster you
solid
go.
after that.
Yeah.
And how many feet up is that?
Well, it doesn't say. It doesn't say when you reach that limit, but I'll look.
It depends on your mass, I imagine, and the air,
Well, yeah, but I mean, you can
and the
make
air density and stuff.
reasonable assumptions and everything. This is interesting.
This reminds me of my first foray into D&D was at Georgia Tech. Ooh. And someone was falling. They were like, well, how far do I fall? And like they were like, well, 9.8 meters per second squared. And like we found out how far you could fall in 6 seconds, and it is a lot. It is an uncomfortable number. Like I was like, oh no. You are dead.
Feather fall.
You are dead, sir.
6 seconds is a long time
I
to be
know.
falling.
It sure is.
Yeah.
OSHA rules, Alden, in case you're wondering. I'm sure you know this already.
Oh yeah.
Based on the industry you're in, I know that if you can fall 6 feet, you have to have fall protection, right? There has to be a guardrail or a harness or something.
Harness on, yeah.
And you know how long it takes to fall 6 feet? Like half a second.
Yeah.
So if you're going to fall 6 seconds,
6 seconds.
that's a long time
It
to be
was
falling,
a long drop. Yeah. Like I was like, cast a spell or something. I can't. I'm a rogue. Splat.
It could easily kill you as a real person.
Yeah.
If you fell for 6 seconds.
Apparently, if you belly flop from 40 feet, it has the potential to kill you. The more you know.
If you belly flop from like 10 feet, it has the potential to kill you.
Yeah, I'm gonna die.
I would die from that.
I think I've belly flopped off of like a.
Oh, you mean into water? Okay, yeah.
Water, into water. Yeah,
Okay.
into water.
Okay, James. Okay.
I thought you meant like just onto the ground.
No. Yeah.
Flat.
Yep.
I'm excited about some of the new stuff that this has.
Yeah.
There is one more section I wanted to talk about, which is the puzzles.
Oh.
State of the book is really cool. I used a couple of these puzzles in our home game a couple of weeks ago, in that campaign I was just referring to a minute ago, which used to be Saltmarsh and evolved into something else, or devolved into something else. Might be more
It evolved.
accurate.
It evolved. The enemies got more powerful.
And we had a night where we didn't have as many people showing up, and so I used a couple of puzzles out of Tasha's, and I took it straight out of the book. I didn't mess with them. One of them was the one where you put the skulls on the thing.
I remember this.
Yeah. And another one was where you had to step on the tiles in the right order. So they have puzzles in Tasha's that you can just jam straight into your home game that are pretty good puzzles, and like it took you guys a little while to figure it out.
It did. We were.
I mean, you guys are horribly paranoid.
We were super paranoid about this.
In general, you're horribly paranoid.
You've
that's
you've
not my
taught
fault,
us this.
okay?
Yes, you have. You
That's
did
not
this
my
to
fault
us.
that you guys are horribly paranoid.
You did this to us.
No, I did not.
The GM response: "You did this to you."
Yeah.
Not true. Not true.
So they didn't trust anything about anything. So it took a little longer than it probably would have otherwise. But the puzzles are really good in there, and they have like 6 or 7 different pretty intricate puzzles in there, in which you could adapt to your own game or change them to your own game. But I just took them straight out of the book and jammed them into Roll20.
Bada bing, bada boom.
And I didn't have to do shit that night. I was just reading it out of the book. So
you did have to make.
That's a good night.
Individual tokens, though.
I did. It took a little work to make tokens and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
But I didn't have to prep very much.
It's nice. You know, when you said that you had to like walk a certain path on tiles, it makes me it's sign of the times. It makes me think of Fall Guys. Yeah,
Yeah, it was just like Fall Guys.
It is Fall Guys.
It was just like that.
Yeah.
It was
Except
like
at least
word,
you can see.
it was like
see.
a word search, and every 5-foot block had a letter on it, right?
Yeah.
And then if you look at the words, if you back out and you look at the whole floor, you can see there's like a word search, right?
Yeah.
And the earlier on, it had told them to avoid all magic. So words were in there like evocation and abjuration, and then just the word magic.
That's what almost killed us.
Which was backwards a lot.
That's what almost killed us. Because we were like, all right, we found all schools. Let's come.
Yeah. So as long as you don't step on any of those letters that are in those words, then you're okay, right? And there's a path to get through to get to the other side. And yeah, that one was a lot of fun, I thought. But again, I didn't have to do anything. Sitting here watching you up. So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe you should maybe next time you should just pull out like a New York Times crossword puzzle and then have your PC.
As long as he can come up with the riddle that is alongside the theme of the crossword puzzle. Yeah. That could work.
I was just sitting here trying to figure out this Sunday New York Times crossword.
I've been working on this all day. I just can't figure it out. I'm gonna make my PCs do it for me.
And you know what? They probably would.
Yeah.
If you want to get a crossword figured out, that's probably the way to do it. Have all your PCs figure it out. Because they will in record time.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Either one you want to buy, I think it's a good buy. And I don't know if Cyber Monday is still going on. They had 20% off all books, right?
Yeah, I think sales are still happening.
Are they? So if you wanted to buy this on D&D Beyond, it's 20% off, which would be like $20. I think they're $20 per book, right? Yeah. So D&D Beyond has this for $20, and then you can add all the cool stuff that they have in here to your characters. You can get a print version from your local game store. I'm a freak, so I like to have both. If it's a book I like, so. But yeah, I highly recommend it. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in there for characters and for side characters. There's puzzles. There's environmental stuff. There's all kinds of good stuff in here. I think this is on par with Xanathar's Guide to Everything, personally.
Which has the best rogue class of all time.
Swashbuckler. Swashbuckler's OP. In my opinion.
We should have a conversation about that someday.
Look,
Like,
anything that has material to bring pain to the PCs gets a thumbs up in mine.
I just
no.
no. Swashbuckler's like I remember asking all of them, okay, so when don't you get sneak attack?
Ooh. And
what was the answer to that?
When two enemies gang up on me.
And that was it.
That's it.
The Swashbuckler's OP, in my opinion. Not that I would outlaw it, because I don't outlaw anything, pretty much.
Oh,
As
so
a
this is
DM.
great. This is a nice thing. Hopefully Travis sees this someday. Joe outlaws gunslingers in his game. Travis did a one-shot. Joe brought in a high-level gunslinger. Pow, 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 pow. And Joe has never been invited back to a one-shot.
You outlaw gunslingers?
In my defense, I asked. I asked if I could bring it.
Joe.
You jerk.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Gunslingers in Pathfinder.
Yeah, they're broken.
Fucking asshole.
They're broken.
Pretty
They're
broken.
very good, yeah.
If you're going against touch AC, I know that's.
See, that's why 5
I
is
would
the best.
know. I don't play
AC
Pathfinder.
Is AC. AC is AC, Joe. It's so simple, Joe. It's so simple.
35375. Touch AC. Oh.
One of these days we'll have our. One of these days, Joe, we'll have our Pathfinder versus 5e knockdown drag out.
Ooh, I cannot wait.
But today is not the day.
Don't worry, I'm building my case.
Oh no.
I'm building my case.
All right.
Your case is built on lies, Joe.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get our lawyers on this just so we can.
Look, look. The last time we were talking about this, I even researched on Amazon how much it would cost to buy a podium to stand behind.
I remember that. Did you get one? Did you get a lectern or not?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Well, I need to
Okay,
know.
so you
Joe,
don't
'cause
want
I
to
need
spend the
buy
money.
you one for
All
Christmas.
right, I get it.
What I want is what I want to know. I will buy you a podium, Joe.
Don't buy him a podium.
No, you're getting one too. Don't worry.
No, okay.
We can dress up in suits.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's that might be fun actually.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and then be like my opponent over here.
Mm.
Oh.
And I'll be like, you motherfucker, you know? Yeah.
Personal attacks are not allowed in debates.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
Excuse
You're
me.
gonna have a moderator. Eric is gonna moderate.
Okay, I was never in the debate club, so I don't know all the rules.
Neither was I.
Yeah, trust me, Joe
But I
definitely.
know you can't call me a motherfucker. I know that. Okay, well. Okay, well, let's plan on that, Joe. You and me debate 5e versus, or are you going to go with 3.5 or are you going to go with 5e or 2e? Pathfinder. 2e.
I mean,
which one?
Which
one, Joe?
Let's leave a little bit of mystery. We need to have my people talk to your people about the debate.
You can't combine them together and claim that's better than 5e.
Yeah.
Huh?
Because you're playing one system or the other. You can't be like, well, 2e has this and 3.5 has this. And
I mean,
no, you have to pick one or the other.
I mean,
to go up against 5e.
I'll pick. Don't you worry. I'll pick.
I'm sure you will.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us
for our ridiculous bullshit sesh.
Which is what these always devolve into, and that's
wonderful.
why it's fun, Alden.
That's why. We're glad you're
That's
here.
what's fun about
Thank
it.
you, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, you got a good review of Tasha's Cauldron of everything out of it.
I think
That's
so.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And
That's
we have an upcoming debate apparently. So,
No.
so thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Goblin Talk, where we'll talk about, I don't know, something.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to talk about next?
Can we do anything Christmassy? No.
Ooh,
Holiday-y?
we should do something Christmassy. We
Is there
should.
anything holiday-y in?
I tell you what we can do. We can look up homebrew stat blocks for Christmas. Bad guys.
Krampus.
Krampus.
Oh man.
I saw one once for elves that had like this hot chocolate canister and it would spray hot chocolate all over you.
Oh, I like that.
You can look
All
up
right.
stuff like that to make your Christmas one shot.
Monsters for your holiday one shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious what class Santa Claus will be. Maybe that's a question we can save.
Oh,
for
you can find many stat blocks online.
Oh,
for Santa
no.
Claus.
Wait, I have a question though. Are we talking about good alignment Santa Claus or evil alignment Santa
It
Claus?
depends.
I mean,
Have you ever seen Santa's Sleigh with Goldberg? Have you ever seen that? That's a great movie. I highly recommend it for your Christmas watch list. Santa
right.
Sleigh
Santa sleigh.
with Goldberg, the WWE wrestler from back in the
he was
day. He
one of my
plays
favorites
Santa,
for a while.
and he murders everyone, and it's awesome.
Whoa, it's a monster movie. Okay.
Santa Sleigh like SLAY.
SLAY, yes.
Oh,
That movie is
okay.
awesome.
Okay. Now I'm in.
Good wholesome Christmas
Oh
viewing.
man.
Exactly. All right, everybody. That's what we'll talk about next time. We'll talk about Christmas.
Can
And
be holiday.
stabbing people with
Holiday.
candy canes
Yeah,
in
there
your
can be-
D&D
there can be-
game.
There can be Kwanzaa monsters. You
Yeah.
know.
That
How dare
too.
you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Holiday talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holiday talk with Neon Goblin. So we will next time. Thanks for coming.
Bye, everyone.